Bosco's here. Hi, Bosco.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You want to tell everybody? What do you want to tell everybody? So today we're going to talk about knitting and Pomodoros.
How much fun is that?
He's mad. Hey, everybody. It's Blue Gal. Today we're going to talk about another time management thing that I've been reminded of lately. First up, let me tell you the latest yarn acquisition is something very simple, inexpensive. Today is my husband's birthday. Happy birthday, honey. And he had to go to Lowe's to get some lumber. He is building some very nice benches out in our backyard. And so when he goes to Lowe's, I go next door to Joann Fabrics and just walk around. But the December socks for the sock bash for grocery girls is scrappy socks. And I saw a very nice pair of scrappy socks with red heels and red toes. And I might do red cuffs also, but I just got this. These, believe it or not, these two match. The dye lots match on this Croy Socks FX. And it's geranium colors. And it'll be nice for heels and toes for the scrappy socks. So that's the only acquisition I have this week. Did I finish the October socks yet in the autumn colors? No, I did not. So I am on deadline. I have about 9 or so more rows before I get to the toe on these. But the autumn colors, they do look like autumn colors, and I am happy with how these are turning out. And so I have, 36 hours to finish these, and I'll get to it. I am grateful that I learned that I would get more knitting done overall if I left these at home when I went traveling or when I went on a car trip, a longer car trip. I did get more knitting done by leaving this at home. And now I'm at deadline, and that's how it's going to be from now on, which is other things will get done while I'm traveling, and then I'll work on socks at home, and it's probably going to be the end of the month. The end of the month before I finish them, but that's okay. They just need to get done by the end of the month. I want to talk today about a technique called Pomodoro, which many of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with. This came to my attention this past weekend. I have 2 kids in college. One has graduated, but my other 2 are still in college. And they had papers and projects to work on this past weekend. And one of them said to me, "Mom, could we do Pomodoros?" And Pomodoros are something that they did a lot of in high school. I encouraged them to sit at the homework table and set a timer. And we all talked about what we were going to work on for that 25-minute period. And everyone sat down and did homework. And it was quiet time and focus time. And the kids found it very beneficial to getting homework done. Very briefly, the way Pomodoro works, I've got a picture here, which I'm going to try to show. There we go. Pomodoro, and it's a Italian tomato, right? And that's because the Pomodoro timers look like tomatoes. Apparently, I would imagine someone had a tomato timer for their kitchen. And you work for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break, and you really take a 5-minute break. Get up, walk around, get water, etc., and then work another 25 minutes. But the key to the Pomodoro technique is before you set the timer and work for 25 minutes, you write down what it is you're going to work on for that 25 minutes. And that forces you to take larger projects like writing a term paper or a book or working on any other long-term project and break it into 25-minute chunks. The breaks in between the Pomodoros are also really beneficial. It's good to get up and walk around, get a drink of water, hydrate, etc. That's critical. But all of it together, a lot of people have found very helpful in terms of focus and work and just being able to accomplish things. And I have found ways to use it in knitting that I think are really fun. So I wanted to share that with you today. The other thing is you will find all over the internet, you will find Pomodoro timers. And this one that I have, maybe not. Is this the one? Let me see. I have a Pomodoro timer here. Yeah. I can't make this dark. It's hard to see, but if I put this up here, everything else will get dark and you'll see it. There we go. This is a Pomodoro timer. There are Pomodoro timers on YouTube that are really nice as well. Just search YouTube for Pomodoro. You'll see Study With Me, and there will be a cartoon of someone studying. Some of them have music, like really quiet music for focus. Some are silent. Some have just a big timer for 25 minutes on them. And I think they're really good. The ones on YouTube are really good. But there are also apps you can download. There are online timers, anything that you want to use. And I would just Google and look on YouTube for Pomodoros and find one that you like and work with it. You can use your phone's timer as well. I just find the Pomodoro ones, particularly the YouTube Study With Me ones, to be helpful in focus because your screen then shows someone studying or working. And if you're trying to write or do a journal entry or do some reading or whatever it is, I think it's really helpful. Now, I have another technique that I use, and I have shared this before, and I want to talk about it again because for Pomodoros, as I say, one of the things you have to do is have an intent. Determine what it is you're going to work on for the next 25 minutes. And so I like to gamify that. And I know I've talked about this in an earlier podcast, but I have these little scraps of paper that I write on 25-minute tasks or 15-minute tasks that I'm going to work on. And then I put them in a coffee cup, empty cup, and I pull one. And so it gamifies this so that, yes, I have a to-do list, but it depends on what I pick as to what I'm going to do first. And that's a good way to sort of jumpstart if you've been procrastinating. You might have something in here that's more fun than something else, but you will get to that eventually. And in the meantime, you've made a to-do list and you're picking one. So these are specific to, except for one of them, are specific to knitting. So I'm going to open them at random and talk about them. And you'll get to see sort of the gamifying effect of that. I have 5 of these. So 5 or 6. Let me look. 6. All right. So I picked one. I'm going to open it up. Oh, okay. This is a fun one. Putter. Scroll Ravelry 15 minutes. Now, I put this in here as a fun one, right? You get to sit at your computer and scroll around Ravelry for 15 minutes. So I would set a timer for 15 minutes and go on Ravelry and look at the new patterns, look at the yarns, particularly look at people who are listed as my friends on Ravelry and see what they've finished. I usually find that to be the most inspirational of the things you can do on Ravelry to find patterns you might want to work on. That's another cat. That's Olive. He's often here, scratching around. Okay, so there's one that's kind of fun. Putter, scroll Ravelry, 15 minutes. All right, let's pick another one. This one is, this is the one that is going to be my Pomodoros for the next 36 hours. This month's sock. No explanation necessary. I will be working on this month's sock. And again, you can set a timer for that. If you're starting at the beginning of the month and working on your sock, put that in your mug with papers, with your little scraps of paper. And okay, you're going to work on this month's sock. You might be working on a bunch of other things too, but you have to get to this month's sock every once in a while. All right, here's one. This is a big one. Visit one UFO. And I find this so helpful. This is something I'm going to recommend a lot next year when we do the Year of UFOs, Finish and Frog. Set a timer for 25 minutes. And this is something I did this week. I pulled out a children's sweater that I started probably 10 years ago. And the reason I put it away and didn't work on it is it's too heavy. It's too heavy for a child's sweater. This is, I believe, this is Donegal tweed. It's definitely Aran weight, purple heathered yarn. And I used a worsted weight green with a sparkle yarn at the bottom. And then I did a stripe of lighter purple. And then I was going to make the sweater in this dark purple. And it's just too heavy. So this week I spent a little while looking at this and knitting a row on it and deciding whether I even liked it. And what I'm doing for this 25 minutes is playing with this UFO to see if I want to finish or frog it. And it's easy to knit. It's garter. I have 12. I thought I had, hold on, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, 12 purl bumps, garter bumps for the green, and 1 stripe. And then I have 8 of the purple. So I'm going to go ahead. What I decided to do is go ahead and match these. So I'm going to make 12 garter bumps for this purple and then bind off. And it's either going to be a scarf or a cowl. I might decide I'm going to fringe it or add some width to it at the bottom of each end, or I'll sew it together as a cowl. It just depends whether it's going to be a scarf or cowl. I haven't decided. But I am going to make the 2 stripes the same width and then bind it off and then decide what next. But look, doing that in 25 minutes, knitting a row, seeing whether it's the right needles, the right yarn, it feels okay, and then playing with it that way, got it out of the UFO pile. And for 25 minutes, I got it out of the UFO pile. And I now have a sense of direction about it and a sense that I can finish it. And it could have gone the other way. I could have said, look, oh, this is garbage. You know, that's going to happen with some of my UFOs. I'm going to go, this isn't working. I don't like this. This project can't be saved. The yarn will be better used doing something else. So, yeah. In this case, I think I can save it and make a heavy scarf out of it. But doing that, visiting one UFO for 25 minutes, just grab one and take it out with a timer going and play with it for 25 minutes and see how it feels in your hands. Is it too tight? Is it completely the wrong yarn for the project? And the point behind Finish Your Frog in 2025 is to clear these out. The ones that you don't want to work on, that no longer meet your needs, get off the needles, recover the yarn, give away the yarn, whatever you're going to do. That is just as much an accomplishment as finishing a project, in my opinion. So set a timer and visit a UFO. I have found that very helpful. And that's when you find out, oh, wait, there's only 5 more rows left on this scarf and it's finished. Remember that? Oh, here's one. Read. This was the non-knitting one. And this is what I did this past weekend with my kids on FaceTime who wanted to work on their papers and college projects. To set a good example for my college-age kids, sat and read, and actually in 3 Pomodoros, finished a book that I'd been reading since September. So, and I don't get much reading done if I don't put this in the coffee cup full of little scraps of paper. So that is, and I do that too when I'm doing housework Pomodoros. You know, I'll have a slip of paper that says dishes, one that says vacuum, one that says make beds, one that says dust, etc. And in there will be one that says read. So I sit down and read for 15 minutes. And if that comes up first, that comes up first. I get to read before I do housework. I like that. But at some point in the process, if I have 5 or 6 things to do on a Saturday, I grab one. Oh, it's read. I get to read. All right, let's see. I've got 2 more. Ooh, this is another putter one. You putter when you look at Ravelry. You putter. Visit a yarn bin or drawer. And again, this is the same kind of thing of 25 minutes to play with your stash. Don't take out more than you can put away. That's always the rule. But do go ahead and visit your stash every once in a while, just part of it. Pull out 10 balls of sock yarn or 10 balls of hat yarn that you know you've got in your stash, those single balls, and take a look at them. And what's your favorite? What are your top 3 favorites? What are your top 3 least favorites? Maybe those are the ones you decide to part with. But visiting your stash, not only your UFOs, but visiting with your stash in a limited way is really the least overwhelming. You want to avoid overwhelm. And visiting your stash. I have drawers, I have bins, I have, a closet. It's all there. Visit it in a limited way. Take a look at what's there and pick out your favorites and play with it. It is play. And that is a good one. I believe, as I said last week, I believe in the power of puttering. Last one. Oh, yeah. We all have to do this. I find it a chore. Have a winding party for yourself. And you may want to, this is winding yarn, when you're making a whole sweater and you have to wind the yarn for it, it's not already wound. Or you're making a shawl with 5 colors and you know that in the first section, you're going to need at least 3 of them. And you need to wind them all to know that you're ready for the next step. I find winding to be a chore, but if you put it in there and you have to do it, this then becomes one of the Pomodoros that you work on. And I also like, if you do a face-to-face knitting group, take your ball winder and Swift and arrange a time when all of you are going to wind yarn. Everybody brings a skein that needs wound, and everybody knits while somebody winds, and then you just switch over to the next person. That's a good one. One of the knitting groups I belong to did a cast-on party for a shawl that they were all going to knit one time. And okay, we're going to have a cast-on party. And the first step was cast on 3 stitches. And they all went, oh, wait, that's not the one we thought we were casting on 300 stitches. I guess we're not. So I really like the Pomodoro idea. And if you have knitting friends that you can join either online or in person and set a timer for, we're all going to knit together and one person is going to tell us the story of how they met their spouse, or one person is going to talk about Christmas, their Christmas plans or whatever, and everybody else is going to focus on knitting. That's also a nice way to do it. Do some storytelling at your knitting group. What's your favorite yarn? What's your favorite hat pattern? That kind of thing. You can come up with topics and let other people focus on their knitting while someone tells a story about the craziest yarn they ever knit or the craziest hat they ever knit. There's all kinds of things you can do. I hope that you found this helpful. I do recommend getting out your phone and finding a good timer on YouTube or a Pomodoro timer. I will link to the Pomodoro timers that I like, including the YouTube ones, and also this picture of the Pomodoro tomatoes and the timer and the technique that it is down below, so you can check that out. Please leave a comment and let me know how you organize your time. Have you tried Pomodoros with knitting? I'd love to hear all your ideas. Okay, and we will talk hats next week, and look forward to that. See you then. Bye.